Welcome back. In this video, we'll get the score going here. So first thing, I'm going to set up what our winning score is. So I'm just going to set up a number here just for playtesting. I'm going to set this value to 2. Okay. Sorry, I should mention that we're in the game script here because this is sort of our referee. And so we'll say that the winning score is 2 at the moment. Now, you probably want to set that to 10 or something, but for playtesting, I'll just set that to 2. Now, what we need to do is get the computer to check the score. So I'm going to create a new function. I'll just come right down to the bottom here. And so we'll call it check score. And we're going to put sort of 2 conditions in there. One of them, obviously, is that well, we're going to have to check on both sides, right? To check to see if the player is going to win or the computer is going to win. And then we're going to put a little bit of a condition in so that you have to at least win by 1 as well. So first thing we'll do is if the player score is greater than, or equal, I should spell player right, greater than the computer score, than the winning score, or the computer score, not typing very well today, computer score is greater than or equal to the winning score. So we have to get one of them above the score before sort of anything happens here. And then what we're basically going to see is if the player score is greater than or equal to the winning score and the computer score is less than the player score minus 1. What this is going to do is make sure that you at least win by 1 here, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a function so that it runs this player wins function. We haven't made this yet, so it's going to show up as red, but we'll do that in a minute. So player wins, okay, and then basically the opposite, else if. So if the computer score is greater than or equal to the winning score, so just basically the same as above, and the player score is less than the computer score minus 1. So it's just the same as above, like I said. But in this case, the computer wins. And we do not have a function for that yet. So don't worry. We'll put those in below. So let's just make sure we close that up. So I think we do need one more. Okay, and one more after that. Good. So that gets our check score working. And of course, like I said, the player wins and computer wins are going to be problems because we haven't set that up yet. So what we'll do is put those in. So private, we don't need to access this from anywhere, so private's fine here. Void player wins. Okay, so we're defining that function. And very simple, player wins will just be, we'll set the HUD.WinPlayer, player win, I guess, to .enabled, and we'll set that to true. So that will put up some text there on the screen, and we're going to also create a GameOver function. Okay, so again, that hasn't been done yet. And then basically for the computer wins, it's the same. Computer wins. Okay. And so this one, the HUD dot, and this time we want sort of the computer win dot enabled is set to true, and also we'll run the game over. Okay, and again, game over hasn't been defined, so don't worry about the red there. Okay. So we've got those 2 functions, player wins and computer wins, and let's just set up our game over function as well. So lots of functions here. And so what we want to do in our game over basically is get rid of the ball. So what I'm going to do is we've already got the game object dot destroy. We can destroy it. And the one that we're going to do is the ball game object. Okay, so we've destroyed the ball, got rid of it. We've got, let's do the HUD dot, I think we've got to play, player win, player score. I thought we had something else here, just a second. So the HUD dot canvas, we've got access to it on that HUD. We should have also had, oh, game start, we called it here. Okay, so game start is what I'm looking for. We want to, that's sort of where we're going to put our messages here. So a HUD dot game. It's not going to help me out here. So that's a HUD dot game. There we go. Our game start. Game start dot text. So we'll actually change the text here, and we'll put in here press space bar to play again. So just a little bit of text along that bottom box. Okay, we're just changing the text there. I think that should be good. What we want to do is HUD, we want that to show up. So play again dot enabled, whoops, game start I called it here. So we want to make sure that that's visible. And what we're going to do as well, and I think I'll leave this to the next video, we're going to use something called game states, okay? So don't worry about this again. So game state is equal to game state dot game over. And yeah, this is going to be red because we don't have it created yet. So don't worry, but the whole idea here is that we're going to be checking the score, and I'm just going to call that in a second. If the player wins, the player wins. We run that function, computer wins. So what that does is it basically turns on the win text. Okay, we'll make sure that that's working later on, and then it runs this game over. And so game over takes away the ball, shows us that if we want to play again, we press the space bar, enables that so we can see it, and then sets up this game state to game over. And we're going to use those game states to sort of control basically if the paddles can move and if the ball can move. Because if we're sort of paused or the game's over, we don't want to have the ball moving or the game, obviously, like the paddles moving. So we're going to use something called game states. Now, one last thing is we never called this check score. And so you can sort of think about where you might want to put this check score in. You could put it in update. To me, that seems kind of odd because then you'd be constantly updating these or checking the score. So probably what I would do is right when we add the score here, let's put a call to that. So if the computer gets a point, then we want to check score. And, oh, is that going red? Shouldn't go red. Check score. Oh, you know why? It might be because it's below that. I might have to move this up. We'll do that in a second. Let's just put check score here as well. That was fine. I don't think this is a problem. I spelled it right. Okay, so that should call those. I'll save it and see if it's still causing a problem later on. But that should be okay. Why is this one? I don't see a difference there. Strange. Okay, anyway, so those two, when we get a point, it will check the score. All right, so when we come back, we'll look at setting up some game states here, and we'll have to go back and change a little bit of code, but we should be well on our way to getting the game done. Just before we finish this, I'll just do a little pause here so you can see the whole script. So remember, you can pause this if you need to. Just show you the bottom. Oops. I think I got to next round there. And a little bit more. There we go. All right, don't worry about that red at the end. We'll fix it in the next video.